Okay guys, today we are gonna build an awesome portfolio website with Next.js, Tailwind and Framer Motion. Okay guys, so we have this design inspired by Bento. I actually love this grid systems, grid designs. We have different boxes for our socials like YouTube, Discord, GitHub and etc. And also we have this card for the equipments that we use for in our YouTube channel. And we have these boxes for our projects. If you have any course, you can create a box like this. Or if you have any mentorship program, you can create those boxes as well. And in here, we have a little toggle to switch between light mode and dark mode. And also we have this great loading animation powered by Framer Motion. And also this website is fully mobile responsive like this. As you can see, we have a responsive design here, right? So in today's video, we will build this portfolio website with Next.js, Tailwind, and Framer Motion. Okie dokie. Now we can create our Next.js application. For that purpose, first we need to open up a terminal on our machine, and then we can use yarn create next app -- latest like this. And it will ask the name of our project. We can say that Next.js portfolio Bento style like this. And yes, we are going to use TypeScript, ESLint, Tailwind CSS. We will not use source directory and we will use app router. Okay, cool. And it will create our project, but we need to wait a little bit for installing packages. Cool, now we are done. We can go to our project folder like this, cd Next.js portfolio Bento style like this, and we can say that code that to open up VS Code. Okay, now we have our project. We can run our dev server like this, yarn dev, and then we can refresh this page. Yep, cool. Now we have our project on the right side and we have the VS Code on the left side. Okay, cool. Maybe I can a little bit zoom up. Yeah, cool. Like this. And then we can clean our Next.js project. First, we will get rid of all unnecessary things. You can remove all the main from here and we can say hello world like this. As you can see, now we have clean project. And then we can go to our globals CSS and we can get rid of all these things because we are not going to use it. Yeah. And finally, we can go to our Tailwind config and remove those things from here. Yeah, cool. Let's refresh. Yeah, we have a white clean project at the moment. Now we can start building our portfolio website. Second thing that I want to implement is dark mode support. Okay, because in our final design we have this button to switch dark mode and the light mode, right? Cool. So for that purpose we need to install this package Next Themes. Okay, so we can go to our terminal and create another one here and we can say that yarn add Next Themes like that. Okay, cool. First thing we need to do is creating our theme provider. Okay, so in our application, in the project folder, we can create another folder called components, and we can create our theme provider like this. Okay, cool. And we can get our theme provider here, and I can explain it to you. First of all, we will not use the default theme provider which comes with this package, because we will put this provider into our layout, and layout file is a server component. That's why we cannot directly use this theme provider in this layout component. Okay, so we need to create a separate file and put this use client, because it use state and use effect behind the scene. That's why we need to make this a client component. Okay, so we need to export this function and get the default provider from Next Themes, and also you can get the type like this, and we will create our provider, and we will pass our children into here. Okay, cool. Now we can go to our layout and put our theme provider here like this, and we can create another div for our children like this. Okay, cool. And also we need to put these props. First of all, we will use class attribute, and the default theme is coming from the system. If user system is in dark mode, we will use dark mode, otherwise we will use light mode. Okay, cool. And then we need to go to our Tailwind config, and we need to say that dark mode class. Okay, because we are using class approach here. And also we need to go our globals.css file to create our body styling. Okay, and we will say that apply. If we are in dark mode, we will use BG neutral like this. And also if we are in dark mode, we will use a white color for text like this. Yeah, cool. And normally we will use this color. Yeah, and we can use this style as well. Okay, and also I want to make this body full height. Okay, cool. So the final thing that we need to create is a toggle for our theme, right? So first of all, we need to install a library for our icons. I will use Lucid for that purpose. Yarn add Lucid React like this. And then we can create our toggle in this components folder, theme toggle like this. And I will copy and paste the toggle, and I will explain it to you. So first of all, this needs to be client component, okay? Because we will use this custom hook here. which is coming from Next Themes library. In this custom hook, we will get our set theme function. This is a setter function for our theme. And also, we have our state. If we are in dark mode, the theme is dark, otherwise it's light, okay? So we can create this button here, and we can set our theme like this. And also we will show different icons based on our state. If we are in dark mode, we will use this sun, otherwise we will use moon. And finally, we will create this span element for search engines, okay? We are not going to show this text to the users, but it will be there for search engines, okay? You can use this class for that purpose. SR only, okay? Cool. So we can put this toggle into our page. Maybe we can create another div here, and also we can get our toggle theme toggle like this, and we can go to our application and we can click this button to switch light and dark mode. Okay, before starting to code our portfolio website, there's a final thing that I want to set up. I want to bring my predefined styles into our Tailwind config, okay? So first one is our color. So we can create an extend object in our theme, and we can say colors, and we can create primary color like this, and I can copy my primary color here, okay? Cool. And also I will create a style for our box shadow, because we will use a different box shadow rather than the default one which comes with Tailwind, okay? So you can create your predefined styles in your Tailwind config file, okay? Cool. And finally, we need to get our font, because we don't use a default font here. We use SF Pro Display font, okay? So we can create our font family here for the sans, and we will use this variable for our sans font. But first we need to set up our custom font. So for that purpose, we can go to our layout file. As you can see in the layout file, we use interfont, but we are going to use a custom font here. So let me show you how we can do that. First of all, we need to get our fonts into our app folder like this. You can create a fonts folder, and you can put your custom fonts into this folder like this, okay? Cool. And then we need to import our local font like this. Oops, sorry. Local font, okay, from next/font/local like this. But I think this is gonna be like that. Yeah, cool. And in here we will create our local font like this, SF Pro local font, and we will use source key here, and we will create an array of objects like this, okay? And first thing we need to do is defining the path here like this. Fonts, but we are going to use SF Pro Display thin first. Yeah. So I can copy the exact path here like this. And then we need to define our weight like this. And also we need to define our style like this. But this is gonna be string, not number. Okay? And then we can create the another one. But we don't use italic actually. We will use light here. Yeah. Cool. And another one for regular. Yeah. And another one for medium. And for semi-bold like this. And for bolt like this. Okay. And finally, we need to get class names for our body like this. Okay, cool. And also I want to give some style here. It's gonna be flex and flex call, and it's gonna be full height. And also I want to put this prop here to get rid of hydration warnings. Okay, cool. Now we can get rid of this interphone. Okay, and we can go to our file here, our website here, and hit refresh. And maybe we can create an H1 here like this. Oops, sorry, H1. And we can say that text 4XL and font bold to check if we use the right font. It's like that, and it's like that. I think, yeah, we have successfully set up our custom font in our Next.js application. Okay, now I think we can create our layout first. Let's get rid of these things and let's check our real design. As you can see in here, we have this left side and also right side, and the pages, oops, I can make this bigger a little bit, yeah, and also let's make this like that. But I think we have a zoom here. Yeah, cool. We can make this 100. Okay, cool. As you can see, first of all, we have this two column, right? This one and this one, left part, right part. And also we have our footer here. But when we go mobile version, the footer is here, right? So basically we have left part and right part, and also we have a footer for the tablet and mobile version. So let's start with creating this layout first. Okay, and also I can say that this can be scrolled when it overflows like this. Let's assume that I add more boxes here, like maybe my YouTube videos or some kind of articles and etc. It will goes to the below like this, and if it overflows, this container can be scrollable like this. Okay, so we need to make this page full height. Okay, cool. Now we can shrink this and we can go to our local project and start creating our layout. We can say that right side, and we can create div for this one, right side, and also left side, and we can create the left side here. Okay, cool. And I think we can use flex here. We can make this flex like this, class, and like this, right? And we can create a gap between them. And also I will make this full and height full like this. Yeah. And also actually we can use flex 1 for everything, and we can get rid of this one. Yeah. And let's create another div here, and we can give some kind of background to understand our layout, and we can make rounded MD and flex items center justify centered. Yeah, cool. And also I think we can make this background a little bit darker for dark version like this. Yeah, cool. We can copy this one and let's create another div here. Oops, sorry, we will change this like that and put this left side here. And also we can give some padding for the moment like this. Okay, cool. And also we will make this flex 1, but actually we will not use flex 1 for that, for this container, right? And for this also. Yeah, cool. And we can put these paddings here like this. Yeah, cool. And also I'm gonna make this full height as well as this one and this one and this one, actually, to showcase our layout. Let me check first this container. If we have proper height, we can use BG Slate. Yeah, we need to make this bigger, but I think we need to go our layout first and use full here for our HTML. Yeah, cool. Now we can refresh our page and maybe we can start our dev server again. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . if you want to create full height pages, first you need to make your HTML full height and also your body. We already put this styling into our body class in our globals CSS like this, right? And also we need to make this like that, right? And also we have our main here. We can get rid of this one, right? Okay, cool. Let's check what we have here. Okay, but I want to make this like Maxwell MD like this, right? Cool. Now we can put our content in here and in here. So first let's start with the right side. I realized that I got confused and put wrong names to the sides. This is gonna be left actually, right? And these will be right like this. Yeah, cool. Now we can check what we have on the left side. We have our image, our title, our full name, our short bio, and our buttons. And also we have this footer with this toggle, right? Cool. Now we can create this one, but first we need to create the content. For that purpose, we can go to our project folder, and inside of our project folder we can create new folder called config, and we can create a new file called site config.ts like this. And actually I can copy my content and we can export const site config, and we will use these content: creator, title, bio, location, location link, and email. Okay, cool. Now we can return our left side and we can go to our local website, and on the left side first we need to create our avatar, and also we need to create our title, our full name, our bio, and buttons, and finally we will create our footer, right? Cool. First let's get our image into our public folder. I can copy and paste my image into this public folder, okay, like this. And for this image we can use our image component like this. Image we will import from Next like this, and as source property we will use pp new 3.png like this, okay. And for the width we will use 120, and for height it's gonna be same like this. And we can go to our application here. I wrote wrong. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can see our image, and I will get rid of these things. Actually I will get rid of justify center, not justify center, the items center. Actually, I will make this flex call, and now we can get rid of justify center. Yeah, cool. And actually this one also, yeah, right. Let me check. Oops, sorry. And then we can get rid of this background here. Yeah, cool. And let's put our alt tag avatar here like this. And also I think we don't need any container, div container here, but I will make this priority because I want to load this image instantly, since it's above the fold, right? The user will see this image instantly when they open this website. So I want to load this image immediately. Okay, and also we can say loading eager like this, and we can use placeholder blur like this. Okay, and we can get rid of this one. Okay, cool. Now we can create our title here. We can create h1, and we can get our title. Actually, this is not gonna be h1, this is gonna be div and site config dot title. And also we will use this one for creator, and now this is gonna be h1 like this. Yeah, and we will use this one. This is gonna be p, and for the bio, right? And we have our buttons, but we didn't create them at the moment, so we can start styling these contents first. Let me check. We have this title here. We can use our primary color like this, and we can make this a little bit bigger, maybe XL. Yeah, and also this is gonna be font semi bold. Sorry, font semi bold like this. Let's check. Yeah, it's pretty same, right? But I want to put these things in a container, actually, like this, right? And I want to give some spacing here, space y like 6 maybe. Yeah, cool. Now we can make this text bigger, text 4XL maybe. Yeah, and font bold like this. Let me check. And also we have this spacing here, right? So we can give some top margin like this. Yeah, cool. And we need to make this text bigger, and we need to change its color, right? So we can use text LG and text neutral 500, maybe XL. Nope, a little bit bigger. Yeah, cool. And also make the font light. Yeah, cool. I think we have this padding like that. Yeah, cool. Now we can create our buttons here, and this is the container actually. Like this. Yeah. And we can use a tag for the first button, and we will get our site config dot location like this. And also we will use our ref like this, right? And let's create this styling here, border neutral 200 for light mode, and for the dark mode border neutral 700 maybe. Yeah, cool. And also give some padding here, and we can make these borders rounded. Yeah, let me check what we have here. Okay, cool. I think we have a little bit more space than this. We can change this with 2 and 3, and also we need to get those icons, right? Okay, we can get the icons here, map pin, and we are gonna make this flex items, center gap 2 maybe. Yeah, and I'm gonna decrease the size of this icon, like size 12, no, 14, maybe 16. Yeah, 16 is better, right? Okay, cool. And we will create another one here, and also we will make this flex items, center gap 6 maybe, and justify between like this. Yeah, and also we can make this full width, and this one. Yeah, I think we need to have more darker, like this maybe. Yeah, cool. And also we need to change this contact me like this, and we will use mail. Yeah, and also I think we have a smaller text size here. Yes. Okay, now let's change the ref here like this, mail to siteconfig.email. Okay, cool. Now we can create our footer. In the footer we will use this div, and first one is gonna be another div with this content here, and also we will get our theme toggle from our components, and we can go to our local page. And first thing we need to do is creating top border, T border. Actually, we can copy from here the border color like this. And we need to create a proper padding on the top. Yeah. And also we will use text XS here, and the text color will be like this. Yeah, cool. And also we will use flex here, item center, justify between. Let's check what we have. Yeah, we will change the color. We will remove this class and put this class here. Okay, cool. Now we have our left part, and then we can create the right side. Okay, now we can create the grid layout of this right part like this. Okay, let's check what we have here. Actually, I think we have 4 columns like this, right? This is one column, and 2 columns, right? And also, I think we have 2 rows here because 1 row is like this. So this is 2 by 2 grid, right? And this is 2 by 1, 2 by 1. So first we need to create this grid layout in the right side. We can go our right side, but first let me close this one. Yeah. And we can get rid of this content, and we can create our grid container like this, and we will create our div here, right? And we will say that class name we full and age full, and it's gonna be grid calls for, and also for the rows, auto rows, and we will use this static pixel number like this, and we will define our gap like 10 here. Okay, and finally we can create our grid items like this, const grid items, and we will use an array here, and we will go with 12 and fill 0. It means that creates an array which contains 12 elements, and you can fill those elements with 0. Okay, so if we console.log this grid items, you can see that we will have this array, but this is gonna be on server side actually, because this is a server component. As you can see, we have this array. So based on this array, we can create our grid items here. Grid items.map, and for each item we will return a div like this, and also we can get index here to use as key index, right? And let's create a class name for that, bg like this. Yeah, we have our arrays here, rounded MD, and maybe we can create more items like this, maybe even more like this. So as you can see, we are scrolling all page, but I want to only scroll this part, right? So we can say that overflow y auto like this. And now we only scroll this right part, okay? And also I will put this padding in here, yeah, like this. I think it's pretty cool, right? Okay. Now we can change something here. We can create our grid items to array, and in this array we can use a class name property, okay, and we can create a structure like this. For example, we want to create 2 by 2 grid item here, right? So we can say that col span 2 and row span 2, okay? So let's create another one, and this is gonna be col span 1 but row span 2 for this, right? And we will use same thing here, right? And for this one we will use 2 by 4 grid, right? 2 by 4, because it has 4 rows, right? If this one is 2, this is gonna be 4. And for this one we will use the first one, it's gonna be same, right? And for this one we will use 1 by 1, and let's duplicate this one, and also we will use the same thing here, and for this one we will use 2 by 2, and finally we will create another 1 by 1, okay? And we can use this array, and also we can return our item dot class name here. Let's check what we have. Yeah, cool. So we need to fix this problem here, right? So let me check. We have 2, yeah, but this is not 1 by 1. This is 2 by 1, like this, okay? But not this one, this. Yes, this is gonna be like this. Nope, not like this. This is gonna be 1 by 2 and 1 by 2. Yeah, okay. Now we have the proper layout, right? Yeah, cool. Now let's create a component. Actually, this is gonna be high order component to create those styles based on our data. Basically, we will have a column in our data like grid type maybe, and we will put our styles, and we will create those styles programmatically based on our data. Okay, so let's create this high order component. Before creating our high order component, let's first create the data structure and the data itself to create our grids. We can go to our site config here, and in this config, first we can create our types. First of all, export type grid item layout like this, and this is gonna be 1 by 2 or 2 by 1 like this, or 2 by 2 or 2 by 4, 2 by 4 like this, right? And also we have the type of our grid item type, and we will use social for those things: YouTube, Discord, GitHub, or Twitter, or even this one. And we will use equipment for this one, and we will use mentor for these ones, and finally we will use project for this one. Okay, cool. And also I want to create another type for this equipment items. Export type equipment item, and this is gonna be title and string, and link the string. Okay, like this. Cool. Now we can create the type for grid item. Okay, export interface like this, and grid item interface like this. Okay, cool. So first one is layout, and we can use this grid item layout for that purpose, and we will use our type, grid item type, and title like this. This one is title, right? So we have this title in all grids, right? Cool. And icon, but this is not gonna be required. Okay, and username, and this is not gonna be required as well, because we only use this social boxes. Okay, description like this, and color like this. We will get our colors, these colors, from our data, and button title, right? These titles, and button secondary title for these light texts. Okay, and now we can go to our mentor box, and we can get our promotion maybe, and we will get our price and our old price like this. Okay, and we can go to our project like this, and we need to get the number of stars, right? And we can go to our equipment, and we will use equipments, and also we will get our image like this. Okay, cool. Now we can create our data, but I will copy this data and paste into here, and we need to create this button link, right? In here we can create this button link like this, and button secondary, this is going to be button secondary text, right? Okay, now TypeScript is happy, so we can put this grid items into here. Okay, cool. Now we have prepared our data. Now we can go and create our high order component for these grid items. Okay, let's create our high order component for these grid items. We can go to our project folder, and in this component we can create a new file called grid item.tsx, and let's create this component like this. Okay, and for the moment let's get our size, and also let's get our children, because we will children like this, because we will put our content inside of this component. This is a high order component, right? We will pass our children into here, right? And we can go to our page, and we can get rid of these arrays, and also we will use our site config.items, right? And we will return our grid item like this, and we can use our item.title and also our index as key, and also we need to pass our size here, right? Sorry, item.layout like this, and we need to pass the children here like this, and for the moment we can use our item.title maybe. Okay, we can put a div here like this. Okay, let's check grid item. We need to import this component, yeah, like this. And let's go to our grid item and create this types. Size will be string, and children will be react.react node like this. Okay, now we need to find a way to create different classes based on our size, right? So let me show you a cool way to create different variants based on this size property. Okay, first thing we need to do is creating a utility function to merge our classes. Okay, so we can go to our project folder, and in this folder we can create a new folder called utils, and inside of this folder we can create a new file called cn.ts. Okay, and let me copy and paste this function here. As you can see, we need to install these libraries first. Okay, we can go to our terminal and say yarn add clsx and also Tailwind merge like this. Okay, cool. So we need to import this function and this type because we will pass our class values into this function, and finally we will use this tw merge function to merge our Tailwind classes. Okay, cool. And we will return the result of these functions here. Okay, cool. And then we can go to our grid item and import this utility function cn like this. Okay, cool. And we need to import another things here to create our variants. Okay, so import cva, and also we will import the type of variant props like this, and we will import this from class variants authority. But first we need to install this package, right? Yarn add like this. Sorry, I think I misspelled this one. Yep, yarn add like this. So we have installed 3 packages, this one and this one and this one. Okay, cool. Now we can create our variants. Let me copy our, or maybe we can create the variants here like this, const variants. Okay, and we will use this function and we will pass our object here. In the first one we can create our base styles. Okay, the classes that you put here will be the base styles and will be applied all variants. Okay, cool. Now we can check our boxes here. As you can see, in every box we have these paddings. Actually not paddings, because in this one we don't have a padding, right? But we have this shadow, right? And the rounded border. And also we can make this flex and align the items to the center, right? So we can create these base style. We will use the box shadow we have created already, shadow grid like this, and rounded 3xl, yeah, and we will use bg white, and for the dark bg neutral 900, yeah, and we will make this flex call like this, and we will use this justify center. Okay, cool. So this is gonna be our base style, and then we will create our variants here. But first I need to put this into here like this. Okay, the first argument that you pass into this function will be the base styles, and the second one is an object which holds our variants. Okay, like this. So in this variance object, we will create our size variant like this. And in this size object, we will create our different variants. First one is 1 by 2 like this, because we will pass this data from our grid items like this: layout 2 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, and it goes like that. Okay, so we need to create same names here, and we can actually check here: 1 by 2, 2 by 1, 2 by 1, and 2 by 2 like this, and 2 by 4 actually, right? Cool. So now we need to create these styles. So for this one, first we need to say col span 1 and row span 2, right? And col span 2, row span 1, and col span 2, row span 1, 2, and col span 2, row span 4, right? Cool. And also we need to create our paddings here, right? So for this one, we will use P8. We want to padding on top, on vertical and horizontal like this. And for this one, I think this is the one that we use for mentorship and projects. In here we will use PX8, but for the vertical we will use PY4, and in here we will go with this one, and in here we will not use any padding because there is no padding. This one is the same with this box, okay? But for this one we will use relative and overflow hidden, because we will make this image, we will create this image with this absolute positioning, right, based on our container. Okay, cool. And then we will create our default variant. For the size we will use 1 by 2 actually. If we don't pass anything here, it will use this default one, this one actually. Okay, cool. Now we need to create our type here. Okay, so interface create item props. Actually we can use type here, type grid item props like this, and equals. First we will use our children. Okay, cool. And also we will use our variant props, and we will pass the type of this variance. Okay, it means that size, we can get the type of variance like this. So our component will have these props, size and children. We can pass our type here like this. Okay, cool. Now we need to use these classes in this div. So we can create a class name property here like this, and we need to use our utility function here that we have created before, right? And we will pass variants here like this, right? And also we will pass the size that we get from our props like this, okay? And we can put class name here, and it will merge those classes for us. I'm talking about this utility function. For example, we can say that bg emerald 100 and rounded. We already have this rounded, so we can go with this one actually, and we can go to our boxes. I think everything is great except this one. So yeah, we have a typo here. Yeah, cool. Now, as you can see, we successfully pass our size data into our high order function, and also we have successfully created our variants based on this size data, right? Okay, cool. Now we can create different type of these boxes: social one, equipment one, project one, and the mentorship. Now I think we can create the first box here, the social box. This one and this one, these have different types, but we will create those types here, and we will use social for this one and this one as well. Okay, so let's check what we have here. We have this icon, button, the title, and the username and the description, right? So first we can get rid of this class name. We will not use this one, okay? And we can go to our project folder. In the components folder, we can create a new folder called grid items like this. And inside of this folder, we can create a social box like this, tsx, okay? And let's create this component social box like this. And we will pass our item here. An item will be the grid item interface that we have created in our site config. This one, right? We will pass this item into our social box. And let's check how we can create the box based on the design we have here, okay? So first one, we will have our header, and inside of this header we will have our icon, and we can say that icon for a while, and we will have our button. But this button will be shown if the box has 2x2 grid, right? If the box is like that, we need to hide this button, and also we need to create another button here. So we can say that item.layout equals 2x2 like this. We will show this button, okay? So maybe we can go to our local project, and we can go our page here, and we can create our if else block here. If item dot type equals social, okay, we will return our social box like this, and we will pass our item. If it's not, we can say that not implemented yet. Cool. Now you can see our social boxes here. Okay, we can go our social box and keep going to create our styles like this. And in here we will have our content container, and we will have this div here. Inside of this div we have our title. We can get our title from item.title like this, and also we will have our not description first, user name, item.username, and also item.description like this, right? And if we have another button, we can create an if else block like this, but this is gonna be 1 by 2, right? So we can check our boxes here. Yeah, let's expand this section. Okay, cool. Now we can create styles for this box, right? So first one is title. I actually want to create a margin, top margin here like this, and also I want to make this flex items center and justify between, right, icon and button like this. Okay, cool. And also I want to give some styling for the title, right? And I'm gonna use text LG and font semi bold like this. Cool. And for the username we will use text SM and text neutral 500 like this. Okay, and I will use this same class for this description, and also I will check if we have the description here, right? Because for these boxes we don't have description. So we can say that if item.description exists, we can create this description content, and I will give a top margin a little bit here, maybe like this. Yeah, I think it looks great. Okay, cool. Now we can create our icon and the button, right? So I want to create another components for these icons and buttons. We can go to our components folder, and inside of this components we can create a new file called icon.tsx. But first I need to import our icons. I will copy those icons from my previous project. These are all SVG icons. Okay, you can create your SVGs and paste into this object like this. Okay, cool. And we can close this object here, And for the icon, we will create const icon like this. And this is gonna be arrow function, and as arguments, as props, we will send our type, and also we will use the color property. If it doesn't exist, we can use white here like this, and the type will be string and color will be string like this. Okay, cool. And we will return our div here. Okay, and we will pass our icons as children here, and we will pass our background color like this. Okay, and also we will give some classes, but first let's import this icon component here. Icon, right? But I think we need to export this icon first like this, and then we can import here, and we need to pass our type. We can get from item.icon, and also we need to pass our color item.color. Okay, and we need to make the TypeScript happy like this. If the icon is undefined, we can use this empty string. As you can see, we got our icons here. Now we can give some styling to this icon component. Class name like this. Okay, and I will use flags here. Justify center, items center, rounded, LG maybe, yeah, and we will give some width and height like this, and also we will use our shadow, box shadow here, right? And also I will use shrink 0 because I don't want to shrink those icons when the component size gets smaller. Okay, let's check what we have. Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. Okay, and dokie. Now we can create our buttons here. To create our button, we can go to our components folder and create button.tsx file, and we can create our component like this. Okay, in this component we will get our text, and we will get our secondary text like this, and also we will get our color. If the color is not there, we will use this black color as a default color. Okay, and we can create the types for these props like this. Okay, cool. And I will make this buttons div because we will use link component for the entire box. Okay, that's why this is not gonna be real button. Okay, cool. So first of all, let's create span in here, and we can use our text like this, And also we can use our secondary text, and we can say that if secondary text exists, render this span, otherwise it will be null, right? Cool. And also let's create background color in here, and let's go to our social box and change those buttons with button component. And let's put our text here from the item.button title and secondary text like this, item.button secondary text, yeah. And we can say that if there is no text, send this empty text like this. And also we will send our color, right? Like this, item.color. Cool. Yeah, we have these buttons here. Now we can create styling for this button. So first of all, I want to make this flex and items center, and we will put gap like this, and we will give some horizontal padding and vertical padding. We will make this text a little bit smaller, and font will be medium like this, yeah. And we will use white text inside of these buttons, and rounded will be LG, and max width will be fit, yeah. I think it's pretty cool at the moment, right? Okie dokie. Now we can give some margin here. Actually, we can create a container here, and we can put our margin like this, yeah. Pretty cool. Great. And also I don't want to make this text like this. If the container of this box gets smaller, I only want to show 2 lines of this description, okay? So we can use a class called line_clamp2 here. Yeah, like this. Let's check our box here. Yeah, I think it's pretty same, right? And I think we need to change the color of this secondary text. So we can create styling for this span, actually. Class name, text, maybe neutral 300, and also font light like this, yeah. Pretty cool. Let's check, yeah. Let's check the light mode. Okie dokie. Now we can create the next box, which will be the mentorship, this one, mentorship box. And then we will create the equipments and the projects. Okay, now we can create the mentorship boxes, this one. But first, let me make this a link component. Since this is gonna be link, we can import link from next link, and we will pass our ref item dot button link. If there is no link, this is gonna be empty string like this. Okay, so now these are links. Cool. Now we can implement this mentorship boxes. So let's check what we have here. We have this icon, this title, and the right container for this text, right? So we can go to our grid items folder and create mentorship box.tsx like this. And we can create our component, right? Like this. Okie dokie. Okay. First, we will create our icon here, right? And we can use icon component we have already created. But first we need to get our item, right? Item, and item will be grid item interface. And the item will be item. Not item. We need to pass our type item.icon and also our color like this item.color, right? And we can make TypeScript happy like this. And also we need to pass this component in here. So I will copy this one and check if item type equals mentor. We will use our mentorship box like this. Otherwise, we will use this div. Okay, and then we need to pass our item here. We can go to our local one. Yeah, we get our icon. And we can go to our mentorship box and we will create our title here. And we can create a div like this and item.title, right? And also we are going to make this flex items center, right? Like this. And gap 3 maybe. Yeah, cool. And we can copy the title styling from here actually. Oops, sorry. Like this. Yeah, cool. And also we need to create our container here for the other texts. Okay, so let's check our mentorship box. We have this top container first and the bottom container. So we can create top container like this. And inside of this container, we will have this div and it will say promo. And also we will have another container here like this. And we will have this span element and we will put our item.old price here. And also we will put our price like this. And below this one, we will have our bottom container, and in this container we will put our item.promotion. Okay, we can go to our local one to see what we have. Okay, so first thing that I need to create a flex layout here, items, center, and justify between. And also this is gonna be flex like this, right? And we can create gap like this here, right? Cool. And for this one we will use text XS like this, and we will use line through. Yep. And also we will give this color. Yeah, pretty good. And also we will use the same styling for this without this line through. Yeah, pretty good. And for this promotion we will use text primary. Yeah, and the font will be bold. And let's check. Yeah, let me expand this. Pretty cool, but I think we need to make this title full width. Yeah, pretty cool. Okie dokie. And also this is gonna be link component as well, and we will pass our ref like this, item dot button link. If there is no link, we will pass empty string here. What's the error? Link? Yeah, we need to complete this link tag like this. Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, now we can move on to project boxes. Okay, let's create the project boxes. For that purpose, we can go to our grid items folder and create project box.tsx like this. And let's create our component project box like this, and we will get our item, and item will be grid item interface. Yep. Okay, and let's make this a link component and import link from next link. And for ref, item dot button link like this. Yeah, and we can go to our page.tsx file and we can copy. Oops. We can copy this one and say that item dot type equals project like this, project box, and item will be item, and otherwise we will use this div. Cool. Now we can go to our project box again, and let's check what we have here. We have our icon, our title, and the stars. Yeah, cool. We can create our icon here. Let's get icon component like this, and also we need to pass our type item dot icon, and color will be item dot color. Yeah, let's check what we have. Yep, we have our icon and the title, item dot title here, and let's make this flex items center gap 3. Yep, cool. And then we will get our stars like this. Okay, but first let's get the styling of this title component. Yep, cool. And then we can get our star count here, item dot stars. Yeah, and also we need to get our icon, star icon from Lucid, and size will be 16. Yeah, and we will say that fill white. Yep, let me use current color here. Yeah, so yep, cool. And then we will make this flex items center and gap 1 like this. Yeah, and actually we can give a margin for this like this to align center. Yeah, cool. And also, yeah, actually we are pretty good. Okay, cool. Now we can create the equipment box. Cool, now we can create this equipment box. First of all, we need to put our image, and we need to put an overlay on top of image. And also we need to create this links based on our content. So let's go to our grid items here, and we can create a equipment box.tsx file. Rough C, yeah, cool. And we can use equipment box like this, and we will get our title, and title will be grid item interface. Yeah, cool. So first of all, we have our overlay here, and this is gonna be div, and also we have our background image, and we will get our image like this, next image. Yeah, and source will be item dot this is not gonna be title, it's gonna be item, right? And item dot image, and all bg image like this. And also let's render this component in here, item dot type equals equipment, and we will get our equipment box here, and we will return this div if there is no type. Yeah, let's go to our equipment box and let's make this fill. Yeah, pretty cool. And then we can put some class names, object, center, and object cover. Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, and then we can create our overlay here, and let's give some styling. It's gonna be absolute and inset 0. It means that top 0, left 0, bottom 0, right 0. Yeah, and let's make this Z10 to make this on top of image, right? And BG gradient to bottom from transparent, yeah, and via neutral like this maybe, and to neutral, yeah, pretty good. Okay, cool. And in here we have our content container like this div, and this is gonna be, oops, sorry, class name. This is gonna be relative and Z20 because we want to put this container on top of overlay, right? So image overlay and this container. You can make those settings with this Z index. Okay, cool. And actually I want to give some heading here, and then we will create our title like this. Yeah, but I want to make this, let me think about it. First of all, I want to make this flex and flex call and items and like this, okay, and justify and, okay, and this is gonna be v full and h full, yeah, and not this one maybe, no, justify and, but we are not gonna use this one, items center, yeah, maybe not center, just, yeah, like this. And we don't want to make this text 2XL. We want to make this, first of all, medium and also SM. Yeah, pretty cool. And let's get our items here. Yep. Let me expand this section. Okay, cool. And we will map through our item dot equipments dot map, right, and equipment like this, and we will return a link component here, right, and we can pass our ref equipment dot link like this, And also we can use this link as key equipment.link. Yeah, and we will pass our title here, equipment.title, like this. Yeah, cool. And let's make this flex, right? And let's flex wrap and items center and gap 3. Cool. And then we can give some styling here. Yeah, some padding, horizontal padding and vertical padding. Font is gonna be medium and BG white and rounded LG, and the BG will be neutral 800 maybe. Yeah, and text will be like this. Maybe not like this. Maybe we can use SM here. Yeah, pretty good. And also maybe we can make this 900. Yeah, pretty good. And also let's give some bottom margin, like, let me think about it. It's gonna be 3 actually. Yeah, pretty good. And also we will say that rounded 3XL and overflow hidden. Okay, cool. Let me check if it works. Yeah, it works. Yeah, I think we have successfully created all boxes that we need. Now we need to make this website mobile responsive, right? Because it's pretty messy at the moment in terms of smaller screen sizes. In the next section, let's make this design mobile responsive. Okay, first things first. Let's create separate components for this left part and right part, and also for this footer actually. Okay, so let's start with footer first. We can copy this one and go to our components and create a footer.tsx like this, and create our footer component and paste this into here. We can import this toggle, and inside of our page tsx file we can use this footer component like this. Okay, cool. And then let's copy this left part and let's create another file here and say that left side.tsx and create our component like this and paste our div here. We need to import those things, and we need to import our config and our icons actually, this one, yeah, and the footer. Yep, pretty cool. And we can put this component here like this, and we can create the left side in our components, right? Sorry, right side.tsx like this, and let's create the component, and we can paste our elements, and we need to import these things: social box, mentorship box, project box, and equipment box, right? Pretty cool. Now we can go to our page and we can import our right side like this. Yep. Okay, cool. Now we have much more clear page TSX file, right? And let's check the final design and try to understand how we can make this responsive. As you can see, we changed the layout based on screen size, right? For example, if we have bigger screen size, we have this horizontal layout, and the screen size gets smaller, we need to change the layout into vertical. So let's start with this one first. So let me close this. Yeah. And we can say that flex and flex call, and if we have bigger screen size, we can say that flex row like this. Let's check. Yeah, it's pretty good. And now we need to put this footer after this boxes, right? Because in this final design, as you can see, footer is in here, but in our design, it's in here, right? Yeah. So let's go to our left side first and put a container here. And we can say that class name, it's going to be hidden on smaller screen sizes, but if we have a bigger screen, we can say that it's going to be flex. Okay, cool. And we can copy this one and go our page TSX file, and we can import here like this, and it's going to be opposite actually. Yeah. Cool. And also we need to create our px8. Yep. And we can say that we full here. And I think we need to say we full here too, right? Yep. And also we can give some padding. Not in this, but in this one. Actually, we can use P8 like this. But you know what? I will go with this one and we'll create bottom padding like this. Yeah? Okay. Pretty cool. Now we have this kind of layout, right? Let's check our design. But as you can see, it's full width on smaller screens. I'm talking about this component. So we can go to our left side and we can say that we full here. And we can go our local one, and let me check this one, and let's make this full width as well. Okay, cool. And also we will use this max width property for larger screens. Yeah. Okie dokie, but I think that we forgot to add a container into our layout, because in here we have this container, right? If we expand this section, as you can see, we have these limits here. So let me try to put this container thing here, maybe. Container. Yeah. And also we can say that MX auto maybe. Yeah. Yeah, pretty good. Okay. Now we need to get rid of this gap here, right? So in the real design, we have a little bit less gap between those components, this one and this one, right? Okay, so let me check why we have this gap here. First of all, we need to check our left side. As you can see, we have this padding here, but let's apply this on larger screens, and on smaller screens we can use P top margin and 8 like this, and also PX8. Yeah, pretty good. Let's check. Okay, cool. And also for the right side, we will make this overflow auto on larger screen, because on mobile we want to scroll through whole page, not just this component here. Okay, cool. Now we can dive into this part. We can make this part responsive a little bit, right? So for make this component responsive, I will install this library, Tailwind CSS container queries. Okay, so we can copy this one and open up our terminal, yarn add like this, and also we need to put this plugin into our Tailwind config like this. Okay, and we can go to our real design. As you can see in here, we make this box full width as well as these boxes, right? Because in here they are not full width, right? But in smaller screen we can make those full width, and also we can decrease the font sizes based on their containers with the plugin that we have installed a second ago. Okay, Cool. So first we can go to our right side. Yeah, actually, and in here we can say that, let me check our design here. So when we have, so initially this is going to be grid calls 1, okay, and this is going to be for MD actually, because on smaller screen sizes I want to have just one column, okay, like this. Yeah, okay. And also I think we need to fix this problem here. We can go to our grid item and we can say that just use this on MD, but initially it's gonna be called span 1. Yep. And also we will say the same thing here. Like this. Yeah. Okay. Now I think we need to fix this problem. We need to make this, we need to fix this height problem here, right? So we can go to our right side and let's check our rows actually, maybe. So let me think about this, why we have this problem. So we can say that this is gonna be like this, and for this one also. Yeah, cool, because on smaller screen sizes we need to give auto height instead of full one, right? Okay, and also I think we can make those two separate boxes, because in here we have these boxes, right? So we can go to our right side and we can make this 2 instead of 1. Yeah, like this. And we can go to our grid item and we can say that, okay, I need to think about it. So this is gonna be call span 2 and call span 1, like this. And this one will be 2 in every screen sizes, right? And this one will be like this, yeah, and this one will be like this. Okay. We need to fix this one actually. So I think we need to change this one with this one. Yeah. Yeah, we have two separate boxes for those, and yep, I think we are pretty good, but not for here. Let me check. So call span 1. Yeah, we have call span 2 here. So these ones 2 by 1, right? So we can think about, so yeah, these are gonna be call span 2 on every screen, right? Let me check. So okay, maybe we can start from the beginning. So this one is 2 by 2. So it's gonna be call span 2 for smaller and bigger screen sizes, right? Okay, cool. And these are 1 by 2, and these are gonna be call span 1 for every screen sizes, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's check. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, cool. So maybe we can decrease the gap between boxes in smaller screen sizes. So for that purpose, we can go to our right side and we can decrease this gap for smaller screen sizes, like gap 6 maybe. Yeah. And also we can decrease the, let me check the page component, and we can decrease this gap with the same number, like this. Okay. And also let me check this left side here first. And why do we have this margin here? This one. So okay, I fixed the problem. We will make this H full on here, but in here it's not gonna be full height, right? Like this. Okay, we have pretty good responsive design, but we can make these texts a little bit smaller based on their container sizes. So for that purpose, we can go to our grid item and create container here. If you put this container with this @ sign, it means that you will create a container, and inside of this container we can change sizes or any other style based on the size of this container. For example, we can go to our title here. Let's first go to our mentorship, and for title, let's say that LG text LG, but normally text base. Okay, so let's check. As you can see, we have a smaller title. Maybe we can say that MD here, and also we can make this, we can copy this style into other titles that we use. Not this one, but mentorship, yeah, project, and this one, text base otherwise, and also for social box like this. Yep. Okay. Pretty good. And also for the description, we had this line clamp. We can say that line clamp 2, but for larger boxes, LG maybe, line clamp none. Let's check. Yeah. Okay, pretty good. It's fully mobile responsive at the moment. And the final thing that we need to create is the animations actually. So as you can see, when we refresh this page, we have this animation, right? So in the next section, I will create this animation with framer motion. Okay, so to create this animation, we will use a library called framer motion. Okay, we can install this library like this, and we will say that yarn add framer motion. Cool. And also we will use this stagger animation, okay, like this, because if you check our animation, we have an animation like this, right? Okay, cool. So to create an animation like this, first we need to go our right side, okay, and first we need to make this a client component because we will use this custom hook, okay, and we can get this here like this, okay, and we will use this animation const stagger like this, stagger delay maybe, yeah, and we will get rid of this one and we will use 0.1, yeah, good. And also we need to import this use animate hook here, okay. Let's actually, we can check this sandbox. So we will get our scope and our animate function from this use animate hook. like this. Yeah. Oops, sorry, we will import this from Framer Motion, okay? And we will pass this scope into this grid container as ref, okay? Cool. And finally, we will create our effect with use effect, and we will pass our scope here. If we have scope dot current, we will use our animate function, okay? And we will target our div, our grid item element, this one. This is div, so we need to target div here. So first argument is the tag of element that we want to target, okay? Cool. And the second one is the animation properties that we want to create. So first one, opacity, and we will use 1 for that, and second one, y, 0, and third one is scale, like this, okay? And the second object is the options of this animation. So we can get, actually I'll get those things from examples, maybe not that. Let me go to Framer Motion. Yeah, I will use this one. And I will make this 330 with 35, and for delay we will use staggered delay, like this, okay? Cool. Let's check our but first I think we need to make this a motion div, like this, to give initial properties, and we need to import motion, and as initial we will make this opacity 0, y maybe 60, and scale will be 0.8. Yep. Pretty good, but we need to make this a little bit faster, I think. Let's go to our right side and 0.5. And maybe we can give some duration like this, but 15 maybe. Two. Yeah, I think now it looks great. Okie dokie. The final thing that I want to create is title and description for our website. So we can go to our layout, and in here we can get our title from site config, or maybe I can say that make a deb like this, and for description I can get siteconfig.bio actually. Yep, this one. And also I want to bring my fav icon, and I will get rid of this and paste my own fav icon here. Yep, now we can see our fav icon here. Okay, it's pretty cool. Let me check. Yep. So I think now we can deploy this application with Vercel. So first thing we need to do is commit all the things that we have changed here, and our final commit like this, and we can create our GitHub repo with GitHub desktop. Yep, like this. We need to add existing repository, and we will choose Next.js. Let me sort this by name, portfolio, Bento style. Yep, this one. And we can add this repository, and we can publish it, make this public, a portfolio website like Bento, powered by Next.js and Tailwind. Next.js, Tailwind, and Framer Motion. Cool. We can publish this. Yep. And we can go to Vercel, and we can add new project here like this, and we can import this one. Let's deploy it. Okie dokie. Now we have deployed our portfolio website. We can go to our app in here. As you can see, we have this pretty cool portfolio website deployed on Vercel.